Callum, everyone's so proud of their social sports teams' names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were at the pub together over the weekend. It was the two of us plus one other person, and we were sitting there chatting, and one word was said that reminded this third person about their social sports team name from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's always one of those, I guess, with your mates, you spend, it feels like hours. You got the blueprints out trying to figure out what the perfect name is before you start playing. And then when you come up with it, you're like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. Little do you know, usually someone else has done it before you for years and years.
Absolutely.
And it's a very common name.
I mean, it's half the fun, isn't it, of social sports? But yeah, one word was said, and then this third person handbraked the whole conversation, stopped it just to tell us, hey, 2 years ago, I was in a social netball team called that.
Yeah.
I can't share it on the radio. It was a little not safe for work. I don't know how it actually got through, to be honest.
They usually are a little bit out there, a little bit inappropriate. I feel like that's what you lean towards with the social sport names.
Absolutely. And, I wanted to now start talking about those social sport team names because they are so creative. We will open up the text line in just a moment, 0428 927 927. What's your social sport team name? I mean, it doesn't even have to be like social sport. It could be like if you're doing a quiz. Yeah. Anything like that. I mean, I was playing netball earlier in the year, disbanded it now with local footy back. But we had a netball team. We called it, and once again, I don't really know how this one got through. Big balls, big calls.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Everyone would always be like, who are we playing? And they'd look up and be like, is that their name?
And you really start judging the characters. Once you associate the team name with the visuals of who you're versing, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Look at these gremlins.
I mean, some of the games we were playing were like at past 10 o'clock. And, and me getting up, so early for radio, past 10 o'clock, I'm looking like a complete gremlin.
Yeah, just a bit disheveled.
Yeah, completely.
I had a team name for when I did social lawn bowls with a few mates a few years back, and it's definitely a name that had obviously been used before by many people, Bowls Deep. And when we would use it as well, because lawn bowls really, the people working at lawn bowls, you'd have to go up to these two nice old ladies, Janine and Sue, to like fill out your name. This is the sort of place where they do meat raffles and they drink brandy. And I'm going up. Yeah, I'm going up as a 19-year-old being like, yeah, balls deep. It's horrible. Like, but I feel like that one has been around too. It is a common one.
I mean, I saw a pretty creative one in a quiz once. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, the band.
Yeah.
Well, somebody called their quiz team King Quizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, not a bad one.
Creative.
Not a bad one.
We want to open up the text line here now, Adelaide, and share with us your social sport team names, quiz names, anything where you're in a team and you had to name it yourself. Let's just jump straight into it with Kat from Manapara. Kat, good morning to you. What was the name?
Morning, guys. My name was Catastrophic Damage in my footy tipping league.
Oh.
Play on words there. Have you done any other names with your cat twined in?
No other ones with cat, but the cricket team that wasn't winning very well was Tears for Beers.
Right,
nice.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Did you get many compliments on the Catastrophic Damage? Does anyone come up and say, hey, nice name?
Yeah, it's a family league, so the family likes it, but ironically, my brother, who's at the bottom of the league, is just called Matt.
Yeah, great.
Good on you, Kat. Thanks for getting involved.
Hey, Simon in Flagstaff Hill, tell us what was the name.
G'day, guys. Go the Scoregasms.
Scoregasms. What sport was this for?
This is lawn bowls, and we carved up. We had a great time. Never won a game, but gee, we were good.
Simon, there's something about, because I played lawn bowls as well. I said my name was Bowls Deep. There's something about lawn bowls, I think, because of how, tame it seems, that you feel like you have to go for a dirty name.
Oh, 100%, 100%. When you win all the meat trays and everything, it's all worth it. So you've got to have a bit of fun.
So, Simon, did you go up against many oldies? Was the name ever looked at in disgust?
Oh, we brought the medium age down by about 45 years, but there were a lot of good names, but we were by far the cheekiest.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Scoregasms was probably the dirtiest for that season.
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's a label that you want.
So, I mean, that's a great contender there, the Scoregasms. I'm going to have to write that one down. Let's see what John from Hope Valley's team name was. John, good morning to you, mate. What was the name?
How are you, mate? So we had an indoor cricket team. It was called the Red Hot Cocks.
Right. And how did you come to that one?
How did that get passed?
Right. So we call each other cock, as in rooster.
Yeah.
How you going, cock? And then we couldn't just call ourselves the cocks. That's a bit.
Of course not.
Is there a hierarchy with the cocks? Do you have cock 1, cock 2, or is that numbered?
King cock.
Yeah.
Then there's Prince cock.
Yeah. There's a peasant.
It just goes down the order, mate. But we started off with the roosters, but that's a bit basic.
Yeah.
Then we had to think, how can we change this? And then we went with the red hot cock. Look, I'm not going to lie, we weren't the best team in the league, but people were pretty scared to face us because they're not sure what they're getting.
Yeah. You never have to be the best team, just as long as you have the best name, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Best team culture, I'm sure.
Hey, Sarah, what was the team name?
We were a trivia team. Our name was Big Fact Hunt.
Right.
Okay, for everyone listening, let's slow it down. She said
out?
Big Fact Hunt. Right, and what was
Correct.
this for?
Trivia.
Trivia, okay.
Okay, yep, all right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
How'd you go in the trivia?
We were really good. I think, so this was when I was living in Victoria. We were recognised on the street when they had a beer festival. People were yelling our team name from balconies. It was quite comical. But I think after the team disbanded, another team formed up with the same name. They didn't get great reception because people thought they were the original team and thought they were going to
They were copycats.
be losing to them. But it was a good time.
Wow, now,
Good year of trivia.
Sarah, obviously this name is a little bit dicey to spell out. It could be prone to a few mistakes. Did the quizmaster ever say it wrongly and sounded a bit jarring?
Look, Ash, he was a radio presenter like yourselves. He was pretty good at making sure he did not get it wrong.
Hey, they slip up sometimes. I was a bit worried for Tom there.
He was really good. It was hard as well when it was trying to get through everyone's team name really fast. But he did a good job. I don't think he slipped. I don't recall him slipping up. I think others may have.
Yeah, well, hey, Sarah, I think that's winning the best team name. We've got a family pass to the Adelaide Zoo coming your way.
Thank you so much.
I love how the Adelaide Zoo is such a family-friendly thing, yet we're giving away a prize for someone who has such a disgusting team name.
Don't read into it. The 10 News First Insta popped up on my For You page on Instagram. And they were reporting on these daredevils over in Victoria. They were on top of one of the skyscrapers right there in the heart of the CBD over in Melbourne. And it were these two men up on these skyscrapers filmed skateboarding.
Yeah.
They were doing tricks, they were having fun. They were filmed in a adjacent adjacent building from an office worker. And it clearly shows this building, there is no sort of guardrail around it. There's no sort of safety precautions. It was really dangerous. It was pretty stupid, to be honest.
It's really one of those each to their own kind of things, isn't it? When you see people doing the daredevil stuff like that. I hate heights. Couldn't think of anything worse.
How about those people that free climb the skyscrapers? They keep popping up on my Instagram as well. Put a harness on. Actually, no, don't do it. And if you are going to do it, wear a harness, get the proper safety precautions.
The thing is,
chalk isn't going to save your life.
The thing is, when I see people doing that daredevil stuff, I just think a little bit arrogant. Just put a harness on. Come on. I'm still going to be impressed if you do it with a harness. Just look after yourself. Anyone can slip, a bird could fly into you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we definitely don't condone this kind of behavior. It's just stupid. But what I found funny about this post was 10 News have reported it as them doing kickflips on this roof, right? These two daredevils recklessly shown doing kickflips on the roof of skyscraper building in Melbourne. And the comments section have absolutely come after 10 News First here.
What, the skaters have united on the comments section for this?
Yeah, because it seems like whoever's made this post just has used kickflip because it's the only trick they know, so they've used it as a generic term. Fair enough, right? Yeah. The common person isn't going to be thinking, well, no, actually, that was a nollie dark side.
Yeah. The guy was resting his legs, just sitting on the skateboard, drinking a chocolate milk, and the reporter said, that is a kickflip and a half.
He was doing a coffin.
One. Yeah.
But so the comment section have come after, and people being like, that was a 360 flip. Put some respect on it, please. People just getting absolutely insane about it. 10 News doesn't know their flips.
It is funny that people are banding together just to, this obviously isn't the issue at hand. They're reporting on the unsafety of it, not what the tricks are supposed to be.
I tell you what, I've scrolled through quite a few of these comments and I've only seen a handful that have nothing to do with them talking about the kick flips.
Yeah.
Some people being like stupid behaviour or like not wearing helmets. And then every other comment is, what do you mean? That's a tray flip, bro.
Geelong, the greatest team of all. The West, red, white, and blue. They're from Tigerland.
Fresh footy tipping on Fresh 92.7. Sponsored by Thirsty Camel.
That's right, Callum. Another round of footy is done and dusted, and we're going to be talking about our AFL footy tipping competition, all sponsored by Thirsty Camel. For seriously good deals this footy season, shop online or drive through your local Camel.
Hey, and just when you think, maybe it's a little too late to join the footy tipping, we're already in round, 6 now?
Well, that was the end of round 5.
Yeah, you might think it's a little bit too late, but there still are loads of prizes that you can get at any point on your leaderboard stats. So still give it a crack. It doesn't mean you have to be, in the top 10 or anything.
Absolutely. And the premiership place for our footy tipping will be taking home $1,000 thanks to Thirsty Camel. Huge, absolutely. No, not too late to join in. Go to fresh927.com.au and you can join the footy tipping there.
And don't think me and Tom aren't fighting for this either.
Absolutely not. We got the green light.
We got our team.
They said, hey, if you do win it, it's all yours.
Just because we're hosting and we got this show, it doesn't mean we're not fighting for that number one spot for a good old voucher.
Doesn't mean I could not do $1,000.
Yeah, be right.
No, but Callum, we need to talk about some of these games. A lot of upsets this round and some seriously tight games as well. GWS beating St Kilda by 1 point.
Huge.
Crows beating Carlton by 2 points, putting them finally onto the winners list. And it was a great game by them with some great performances from Isaac Rankin, Taylor Walker, Ben Keys.
Hey, I go for Port, but that game was sensational. Watching the nail-biting bit of that finale, it was really, really good. So kudos to the Crows boys there.
Yeah, and we had Port Adelaide beating Fremantle by 3 points. Zach Butters and Dan Houston had some unreal games as well as Ollie Wines for that. And then I want to talk about as well the game that no one saw coming. West Coast Eagles beat Richmond.
I was going to say, is it that one? When I found out about that, I was like, that is ludicrous considering what West Coast have been doing lately. But yeah, congrats to them for pulling through however that happened.
Yeah, I mean, they won by 39 points. They had an 8-goal second quarter with Jake Waterman booting 6 of them.
Yeah.
Just unreal effort. So they're on the winners list as well, leaving Hawthorn and North Melbourne the only 2 teams to not have won a game yet.
Yeah, a few surprising ones there. So how does that look in terms of our leaderboard with everyone else? Because I have to say there's a few shake-ups.
Well, I'll tell you what. Nobody's done that well on this round of footy tipping because there were so many upsets no one saw coming. I mean, talking about us, we were on 219. We've moved up to 155. We're on 31 points, and we're tied with Taylor for your work day, who is sitting at 162 on 31. We're just above her on that percentage. And Kale and Mags have moved from 371 down to 339 on 28 points.
Right, okay.
So a healthy lead on them.
Definitely in the 300s, not looking good for them.
But looking at our ladder leaderboarders, we've got Kelly R, or Yes KR. She is in top spot right now on 35 points. The top 5 people are all tied for first right now on 35. So that's Kelly R, Chock Sausage, Big Beer or Big Bear, Good Tipper 55, and Dennis WD. So shout out to all of those guys. You're doing amazing. Got to keep holding on to that number 1 spot. It's tight competition right now. There's a lot of people on the same numbers.
So we know who we have to eliminate in order to get this top spot, Tom. Chock Sausage is going down.
I hope they take bribes.
Tom, doing a bit of a wraparound of Coachella. Obviously, It's a massive festival.
One of the biggest in the world.
I mean, it's crazy as well because it's so different to what we get here in Australia. It's kind of sounds a bit mythical and, just what goes on there. They're even bigger artists and a lot of things going on, big stage designs, things like that.
Here in Australia, even our biggest festivals only really manage to get 1, maybe 2, A-list acts where you look at Coachella year after year, and it's just A-lister after A-lister, and even the smaller acts, you're like, whoa, that's a big name.
It's funny as because when you look at the Coachella poster, always the names, start off big like the headliners, and it gets smaller and smaller as you get to the bottom, the lesser known acts. Those lesser known acts is what we just get over here as our big ones usually.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see. But a quick wrap around of stuff that happened over there. Shakira, surprise performance. She has announced a world tour, which includes Australia.
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty good. Otherwise, Dom Dollar, fresh favourite. Obviously, we love Dom Dollar. Him and Nelly Furtado did their collab kind of thing for Eat Your Man.
Yeah, I saw them perform back in 2023 New Year's Eve at Beyond the Valley in Victoria.
That's good.
Unreal. Yeah, they mesh really well together.
Well, what was funny about this one, it was a great set. Everyone loved it. But Nelly Furtado did fall over. Of course, something like this has to happen. She fell over. She cut her thumb open, a little bit of blood, but she kept on singing, which is the good part.
She soldiered on.
She soldiered on. She was doing Eat Your Man. She turned around and said on the mic, Eat Your Man, not the stage. So she had a laugh about it. It was all good.
Nelly is just one of those people where you look at and you're like, you just seem awesome.
Yeah, great performer.
Yeah, would love to have a beer with.
Yeah, 100%. Blur was a really interesting one. Obviously, Damon Albarn's band, they are... I thought, Blur is such a big band. Everyone knows the tracks. They're really big, but a bunch of people just didn't sing. They did the awkward, threw it to the crowd. No one returned it back.
Yeah, right.
I guess just even if you are as big as Blur, this stuff is just going to happen. You're going to have a few awkward shows where people just don't get involved.
Absolutely.
Obviously, with the Barbie movie coming out last year, it was massive. We had a surprise collab between Billie Eilish and Lana Del Rey. They did a song from the Barbie movie.
I haven't seen the Barbie movie in a while. Don't recognise that song, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they did it and got a lot of praise. So a few good collabs there. This one was really funny. I really like Grimes. I reckon she seems so weird and out there, but she had a little bit of a mix-up where a bunch of her songs that she had loaded on the DJ set were the wrong tempos. And I've had a look at the comments of what this means because it gets a bit technical with DJ syncing terms and stuff like that. Pretty much it's like a chef showing up and the stove's not working. You've absolutely botched it and it's pretty stressful. So she had a bit of a reaction to it.
Sorry, we're actually having a major technical difficulty. I'm trying to sync. I'm not good enough at math for this, but here we go.
I won't lie. It kind of sounded like it would have gone pretty hard if she just went on with that.
Screaming? Yeah, it just sounds like
screaming. It just went into more untempoed stuff.
Yeah.
So what, the beats per minute were just wrong or something?
So it's like I can't explain it that well because it's very DJ termy, but it's pretty much the songs were out of sync and had sunk to wrong tempos and you can't really fix it on the spot. You should probably just prep a little bit better and something happened. But apparently she killed the set. Apparently it was great. She just did a bunch of other lesser known songs and it sounded really good.
Well, while we're on the topic of Coachella, I mean, we've talked about all the artists there, but we need to talk about the prices of the food and the drinks.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Go on over there. It is insane. So, of course, they're all in American dollars. So, at first glance, you're like, yeah, that seems all right. But when you convert it, you're like, whoa,
what happened?
That is not right. So, a small chicken, hibachi chicken and noodles cost 23 American dollars, which converts to about 35 Australian dollars.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's tiny.
In terms of food as well, and you see pictures of this food and you're like, geez, it's a little bit lackluster. I saw a picture of someone who got 2 burritos and some weird cucumber health drink, 98 Australian bucks.
Whoa.
98. And then if you look at drinks, 25 Australian for one seltzer, 27 for a Sauvignon Blanc, and that's on the cheaper side of things as well.
Have you seen how much a vodka Red Bull costed?
No, I don't want to know.
26 American dollars.
American.
That converts to $40 for one vodka Red Bull at Coachella.
Get out.
That is highway robbery. I mean, they wonder why people are going off and doing other naughty things, right?
Yeah.
Bring those prices down because it's getting outrageous. There's, people are spending up to like almost 200 Australian dollars a day at Coachella.
Yeah. Jeez, that's why Grimes was screaming. She was just hungry for a burrito. Couldn't afford it on the day. Getting a bit hangry on stage.
Friday night, we were going to the soccer. Adelaide United taking on MacArthur. It was the last home game of the season. Adelaide United got out in front early with a goal in the 20th minute. unfortunately, MacArthur did get up, scoring 2 goals in the 84th and the 88th minute.
Yeah, it was real crunch time, wasn't it? Towards the very end. Thought we had it in the bag, but let it slip through, unfortunately.
Yeah, so bad luck for the boys there. Unfortunately, that looks like it will end the run for finals, which they were going so hard for. But there was a story about us trying to get to the soccer where it's a classic tale of why you should always get an Adelaide independent taxi, because this fateful night we decided to get a ride share.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
and there was about 4 or 5 of us going there, so we had to get the big one, and we get in, and there's just this. There's a stench.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how to put
stench.
it nicely.
Don't put it lightly. It was terrible.
So
we get in there and
like bio warfare.
Oh, it was.
In this
and
car.
what was funny as well is like when there is a smell like this and you're sitting in the car, I feel like we all immediately didn't say a word but hopped on our group chat. There's 5 of us and we all hop on the messenger group chat and we're like, what the hell is that?
You want to be polite, so you don't want to say anything. You don't want to make any vocal sort of But it smelled, well, at first I thought, man, this guy's dropped a bomb right before we've gotten in. But then as the ride went on, I started to think, wait, no, maybe it's like a bit of BO mixed with something. I don't know what it was, but we got about 5 minutes into the ride and I couldn't hold out much longer. So I went for the panic of putting the window down.
Yeah.
They had the child lock on.
They trapped us
The window was up. I couldn't get it down.
It was insane that they locked it. And you know, when you hop in these cars, these ride shares, you always ask the base questions. You say, you know, do you just do this? Do you have another job? I was thinking, does he do this, or does he have another job picking up roadkill and rotten cheese off the streets? What is this guy's other profession?
I couldn't even ask a question. I was too busy trying to hold my breath the entire trip.